It is time to make some kitchari. Kitchari is an Ayurvedic healing dish. It's good for all body types, all constitutions. Depends on what spices you put in it, but I'm gonna just walk you through a very basic kitchari recipe, and of course the recipe is below attached. You can get that file and adjust it for your own needs as well. The basics that go into kitchari are, first of all, the beans. I either use mung dal or moong dal, and here's just what it looks like. You want to buy split moong dal beans, and moong is M-U-N-G or M-O-O-N-G, depends on how it's transliterated in English. Or I also use chana dal, C-H-A-N-A, chana dal. They're bigger, I don't know if you can see that, but they're actually bigger, but they're split as well. They take longer to cook. So I literally just decided to have kitchari when I woke up this morning, and what I do when I know that I'm gonna have kitchari is I soak the beans all day. So I like to have them soak at least 8 hours. And then after they soak, I'm gonna rinse them, and what that does is it makes the protein more digestible. If I were to cook them straight away, my body wouldn't digest the proteins as well. So that, and also helps get rid of the gas causing part on the outside. So I'm gonna rinse that in a little bit. So this is a big part, and you'll use equal parts of the moong dal or the chana dal and rice. And something that I just recently learned about rice and the importance of what kind you buy. First of all, you want basmati rice, and it's, I know you can't see in the camera, but it's really long and thin. And so you want basmati rice, and this particular brand is the brand that one of my teachers prefers. It comes from the Himalayas. And what's interesting is, I didn't know this about rice. I don't know if you know this or not, but you can actually get premium aged rice, like premium aged whiskey, I guess, I don't know. But it makes the rice much better, according to my teacher. So I buy this big 25-pound bag online. The brand is Royal, and I think you'll be able to find it easily. And it should last me a good long time. You only have to buy it once every now and then. So beans, rice. The other ingredients you'll need are ghee, and you can look at my other teaching videos to teach you how to make ghee. I always have ghee on hand. It just sits out on the counter. It doesn't have to be refrigerated. It lasts a really long time. And ghee is basically clarified butter. So I'll be using my ghee. You'll see that in a minute. And then the spices that I'm going to use, I use basically these same ones every time. I use some turmeric. I use some black mustard seeds. So you need to have black mustard seeds. Today I'm going to use a masala because I have it. Sometimes I don't, but if I have masala, I use it. And then I always use whole organic cumin seeds. And I have ground ginger because, frankly, I didn't have any ginger root in my refrigerator or my pantry, so I'm going to use ground ginger, but I always use ginger in mine. Not everybody will use ginger. If you tend toward more heartburn or skin that gets red, then you wouldn't use ginger. That'd be too spicy. And a really particular spice from Ayurveda is Asafetida, and I'll use a pinch of this. You'll see that later. So it's in your written recipe, but now you have the idea of the beginnings. So now I'm going to cook it. Okay, so we start, the first thing you do is we need to brown the spices. So it takes some ghee. Now you're going to notice I don't measure precisely, and that's because you're in my kitchen and this is my dinner and that's how I do it. But I did put the exact measurements in your recipe, so don't worry about that. I put about that much ghee, and start that in the bottom of the pan and melt it. And it melts pretty quickly. Now when the ghee is melted, I put in, for one recipe, I put in just about what fits in the palm of my hand. Whoops, not that much. Woo, that much. Ginger, put that over there. And a little bit of turmeric. So I think it's about a tablespoon right there in my hand. And a little bit of masala. I learned this technique from my friend Kate Short. She has a great cooking website called innerhum.org. So you can learn more from Kate. Now these are mustard seeds, black mustard seeds. I love them. And I'll put a little extra in there. And cumin. There you go. and just a pinch of Asafetida. There we go. Take those spices, shake them all around, do the hokey pokey. So see how that is? A beautiful mixture of spices at the bottom of the pan. And what I'm waiting for now, I'm just waiting until the cumin and the mustard seeds start to pop. You can't mistake it. They'll start sounding like popcorn popping. So the ghee is bubbling. Ghee can take a really high temperature, so no worries. It can take high temperatures for cooking. And I have the heat on about medium high. There it is. There's the pop pop sound I've been waiting for. So I'm going to turn the fire off. And the way I make kitchari is before I add the liquid, I go ahead and add these beans in there that have been soaking. And I get them really well coated. I wish you could smell it. Oh, it smells so good. And then I'm gonna add the rice, a cup of rice, so it's equal parts. It looked like more beans, but that's because they've been soaked and they plumped up a lot while they get double the size when I soak them. So I'm gonna stir all the rice and the beans. I'm going to add just a pinch of Himalayan rock salt, like that. Yes. So now you can see the rice. So this is uncooked rice, 1 cup of uncooked rice, 1 cup of uncooked moong dal that have been soaked, and they're all mixed up with the spices. And now I'm going to put add water, and you just add enough water to, I don't measure it because you don't need to measure the water. You want enough water so that it's there's quite a bit on top. There's at least that much liquid on top. And you can make it as soupy or as thick as you like it. I like mine a little bit on the soupy side. And now it's going to cook until the lentils are tender. It'll probably take about 45 minutes, but I find every time it takes a different amount of time. The way you know it's done is you test it. So you could start testing it after about 30, 45 minutes. And it's just going to sit here and boil, and it'll be so good. I'll show you what it looks like at the end. So it is ready. It's taken, I'd say about 45 minutes, and the beans are soft and ready to go. I could serve it just like it is now, but I like to get extra vegetables every way I can. So I'm going to take this, well actually first, I'm going to do baby spinach in a minute. I have some cauliflower that needs to be eaten. So I've cut it up pretty small. I'm gonna put some cauliflower in here. And again, I'm not measuring. You'll just need to do whatever you like. A good bit of cauliflower in there. And let it cook another few minutes. Let me see if that's about the right. Yeah, there's no rule here, but I just like to have a little more vegetables in here. And after a couple minutes, I'm going to stir in some spinach. I don't want the spinach to cook really at all. I just want the heat of the kitchari to wilt it. So I'm going to let this cook for a couple minutes, then I'm going to add the spinach. So the cauliflower is tender. It's been cooking for just a couple minutes. I'm going to throw in some spinach. I know it looks like a lot, but it'll cook down to nothing. Not nothing, but just a little. We're just gonna put that spinach down in there. Oh, this is gonna be so good. Doesn't the spinach make it look beautiful? I love the spinach. Have that green in there. Doesn't need to be in there long. I'll keep the fire on. I only keep the fire on just for a moment until that spinach is wilted. turn the fire off. It's a gas range, so the fire is off. And the last thing I'm doing for this kitchari is I'm topping it with some fresh cilantro. I definitely don't want the cilantro to cook a lot, so it's just gonna go into this pot. It smells so good. Fresh cilantro. And that, my friends, is a kitchari. Bon appetit.